So in our last class, right, we saw how we can execute a Java job on the machines, right, on Jenkins server. So in today's class, we'll see what is the master slave architecture and how we can set up the agent in the Jenkins server. Okay, because mostly main purpose of the Jenkins is to run the build of any particular applications in a different server, right? Different agent. So that agent could be specific to that project or to the application which you want to build. That agent will have all the required softwares, required operating system, required softwares, required libraries, binaries be available in that system so that you can build your application on that particular node or agent, right? So today we'll see how we can set up the agent, right? So I think we already have discussed about the agent. Guys, I think we already have discussed about the agent, right?
Somewhat gave an introduction to it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gave an introduction to the
Introduction, yes.
Only that introduction, but not
Yes.
done the setup, right?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So okay, so I think you guys already know what is the executor and what is the slave and node, right? So today let's do the lab classes of setting up the agent or node machines in the Jenkins server. Okay, so how we'll do that? As you know, the slave or agent is not actually kind of any tools or anything, right? It is actually a different machine. Okay, the agent or the node, it is actually a machine where you want to execute your build, right? So we have to set up a machine now. So let's go ahead and quickly set up a machine. I'll just go like I'll give here as node 1, something like this, node 1. I'll go with suppose CentOS. Let me go with the CentOS operating system. Okay.
Ranjit, like in our last class, what you have discussed is like the pending on email notification, AWS, FTP server configurations. That one was pending, and you asked us to remind me in the next class.
Okay, sure. That will do. So let's first complete this one. And pipeline script we have not completed, right?
We have not done.
No.
Right? Let's first set up this AWS thing. Sorry, set up this slave node. Then we'll talk about email things, and then we'll directly jump into the pipeline script. Okay. Let me quickly go with that. Okay, so I'm going to get one CentOS machine as my this is one is the CentOS machine, CentOS 8, and this is CentOS 7. Let's select the CentOS 7 and continue.
Ranjit Bhaiya, somebody, the Murthy, somebody is sending a message in the WhatsApp. He cannot join, so we need to give any permission.
Unable to connect with him. Unable to connect. Let me speak with him 1 second.
Okay. You are muted.
Ranjit, you are in mute.
Mute, I am.
No, yeah, I'm speaking with Murthy 1 second. Okay, no worries. He's trying to connect now. Okay, so what we selected the CentOS machine. Let's quickly go ahead and do the complete setup. existing security group. Skip it. SSD. Let's little bit increase it, otherwise, let it be 10 GB more. Let it be 10 GB. Okay. So launch instance.
Ranjit, like the configuring, creating an instance or node, both are same, or is there any different? Ranjit?
Sorry.
So actually, we already created one instance in AWS portal. So is it the same for node as well, or for node we need to do any different thing?
Slave and node, master and node. I think if you understood that concept, right, that is totally different, right? The master, which is where we have our Jenkins installed. Remember, guys, the master where the Jenkins is installed is called master or controller or Jenkins server. Okay, normally what happens, any build we execute, we don't do the build execute on the same server. For a demo purposes, suppose we can execute the build on the same master server. Master server also has capacity or capability to execute the build. But normally what happens, based on your requirement or applications need, you have to execute that build on a different machine. So why we need different machine or different agent or different node? Because that particular applications or the project may need, suppose, Java or some operating system or some other softwares or plugins which might be installed on that particular node or particular machine. Then you have to set off a different agent or machine, and there you have to execute it. And I'll show you today by setting up a different slave or node or machine. We have already the server. This server is Jenkins server, but I'm going to create, and I created another server which I'm going to treat it as a node, another node. Okay, so node 1 I created as a node 1. So I'm going to make it as a node 1, and from Jenkins server I'll show you how we can send the build to the different node machine and make the node to build for us. That is the purpose of this slave and master architecture. Okay, so what the master does, master schedule the build jobs, dispatch build to slaves for the actual job execution. So dispatch builds to the slave or node for the actual job executions. So based on the company, right, they would have multiple nodes available on the Jenkins server. So if you log into the Jenkins server, let me just, what was the, okay, if I just go here, you can see based on the Jenkins server, we'll have only build executors for the Jenkins server or for the master server. Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't have any node setup done here. So how we'll do that? And what is the node? Node or slave is the execute build jobs dispatched by the master. If a master sends the job to be executed, then it will be received by the slave or the node to execute that. Let's go ahead and set up a node. So how we'll do that? Log into your Jenkins, go to your manage Jenkins. Okay. And here you have to go to the manage nodes and clouds. Okay, click on this manage nodes and clouds, and here you can see we have only built-in node, or you can see you can call it as the master node or control node or Jenkins server. Okay, so this server is CS anyway, it says offline. Why it says offline? Master server is, it says offline, right? This one 0 byte text is okay. It's because of those memory issues. It says offline. Okay, no worries. Let it be there. So let's go to the nodes. Normally built-in should not be. Let's increase the volume otherwise. So do you know, guys, how to increase the volume? So what is the volume size here? It is, if I go to the storage, I think it will be 8 GB. Okay, let's go to the volume and increase the volume size. Okay, from 8 GB to at least increase some around 20 GB, so that Okay, for that we need to stop this, detach the volume, and then we have to create a snapshot and all these things. Okay, so we don't do it right now. Let's keep it there. We'll see it later how we can change it. But for the time being, let's work on that. Okay, so fine. I don't want to stop it because it is anyway. It will take time, but let's do that one. Let's go to the modify volume. Okay, so what do you have to do? I will not stop it. Let's by running itself, I'm just going to do it. Okay, it will little bit slowness will be there, but it's fine. So what do you have to do? Select this particular volume. Let's action modify volume, and instead of 8 GB, let's increase to 20 GB here. Okay, I just increase to 20 GB. Modify. So what it says, if you are increasing the size of, you must extend the file system to the new size in the volume. We can do, so I can just modify it. So in use, it is just modifying. Let's wait. Optimizing. It will take few minutes. So already has come to 20 GB, but it's still okay. Volume status is okay. Okay, it's still in use. Optimization is going on. Fine. Okay. To do that, let's log into the server in the backend and do a press. Okay, guys, I think if you guys, I have one YouTube channel. Okay, so these guys, if you have want to do some projects around all these things, okay, everything I have kept in my my YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and just subscribe that, and if you find anything, lots of videos will be available here, or project related. So okay, everything, all DevOps project and all cloud related projects and everything. Just search for Ranjit Smai and you'll find my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe it. You can just go through the videos. I have multiple videos, all are project related, everything, how we can do the projects and work. Okay, you may use it in your company work also. Everything real time, I have put it everything here. Okay, you will get all every monthly, once or twice. I just try to upload all the projects or things which is more important for the guys, right? All the things you can find it here. Let's close this one.
Okay, Ranjit.
So it is in use now. Let it be there. Now let's log into the backend, and if I go here, you can just go to the Jenkins server. Okay, this is, let me rename it as not demo server, Jenkins server. Save. Okay. Now what I can do here, let's log into the server, and I'm directly restarting the Jenkins server here. Okay, let's see the Jenkins server. If I refresh it, it will be saying restarting the Jenkins server. So it's starting, please wait. It's getting ready to work. Okay, it's done here. Also, we got the page. Let's log in. Let's go to manage Jenkins here. Manage nodes and clouds. Grid Express is 495. Okay, it's required to mount it. Let it be there. Okay, we'll see it later. Now, what we have to do, we have to set up a node machines, right? So how we'll do that? So first things, you have to go to the manage Jenkins, clouds and nodes. And if you can see here, we have only built-in node is available here. Now let's go to the new node and give a node name. And node name should be how you have to give it should be unique, and you should give it based on your project name. Which project do you want to build it there, which applications, and any system name or anything you have to provide it there, because it should be memorable and you can easily identify this particular node is required to be built by that particular project, right? That project need to be built on this particular node. Suppose I'll give here simply for the demo, I'll give us node 1. Okay, suppose I'll give us node 1 here. Now, what I'll do here, let's click on this permanent agent and go ahead and create. Just give a descriptions, whatever you want. I'll just leave it here. Number of executors. So as you know that executors has the most important role to execute the build, right? So now the how you decide the number of executors? Based on your resources. Suppose you have only 1 GB of RAM and it will be like very less, right? So it will take very 1 or 2 jobs. If you run, it may get slowed down. If you have multiple memory size, like if you have 8 GB or 16 GB of RAM, and you could execute multiple jobs, multiple applications, right? So based on the resources, based on your system configurations, right? So here in the node machines, what we have this node, because this node we are going to make it as the our agent, right? So here we have only 1 GB of RAM and we have only 10 GB of storage. So based on that, you have to set up the executor. Suppose I'll give 2 executors here. That means two number of projects or jobs can run parallelly. 2 builds can run parallelly here. Give a remote root directory. Suppose I'll give home ec2 -user. Okay, or you can give home Jenkins also. If you have the Jenkins home directory, you can provide home Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins, or you can any folder in the remote you want to make it the root directory, you can provide it. Suppose I'll give as ec2-user. Okay, and label. So label is nothing but your naming a name where you have to use it in your automations or pipeline or anywhere, because based on the labels only the job will identify in which agent or node machine you want to execute. Okay, the label. So suppose I'll give the label as also node 1. Use this as much as possible and only build jobs with label expressions. Based on the label, the job will be executed. So I'll just do 2 times. Let's do demo. First, let's it be there. We use this node as much as possible. And the other one is the launch method. How you want to active this agent, right? How we'll do that? We have launch agent by connecting it to the controller, or launch agent via SSH, right? So what you can do, suppose I use launch agent by connecting it to the controller. Now let's go ahead, and here you have to provide the custom working directory path. Suppose I'll give home same ec2-user, right? And here what happens? We have the internal data directory where the slave agent and everything will be put it. So as give as default is remoting, leave it remoting. And what happened here? Either web socket may be selected or the TCP. So what happens here? I'm going to use, let's see the advanced. No, leave the use web socket. I'm not going to use the web sockets. Leave it here and keep this agent online as much as possible. Okay, keep this agent online as much as possible. So what happens? And we have 3 options are there. We'll see later on. First, let's keep this agent online as much as possible. So leave it. And let's go ahead and save. So you can see here our node 1 is offline. Node 1 is offline. So how will active it? Click on this node 1. So what happens here? It says the JNLP agent port is disabled and agents cannot connect this way. So what we can do, we have to go to the security configuration and change it. So let's go to the security configuration screen. And here we have to active the port. Okay. So you can see here, the TCP port for inbound agent is disabled. So where you have to go, let me go manually. Where you have to go, manage Jenkins, right? Global, configure global security, right? Configure global security. And then you can come here, come down, and you can find agents here. So let's select it as random, even not fixed, okay? You can select, okay, not random. If you select random, what will happen? Randomly, it will get the port, and it will be difficult to give a random port selections, right? Better just use it fixed and give a port. Suppose I'll give as 50,000. The port number is 50,000. Okay, this port I want the agent to connect. Now let's go ahead and save it. Now let's go to the manage nodes and cloud here. Go to the node. Now we can see after activating that, we can find this particular informations. Before that, let's configure again and see if everything is correct. We have given node usage, disable web sockets and everything. Fine, good, good, all good, right? Let's go to the nodes. And here, node 1. And here you can see it is advising us to run from agent command line. So these commands, it's asking to connect to the node, and from there, execute this command. So let me connect to the node machine. Let me connect me to the node machine. So what I'll do here, get the IP address of the node machine, copy this IP address, connect to the node machine. What is Sage? Okay. Permission denied. As it is a CentOS machine, the user ID of the CentOS machine is CentOS. Is CentOS. So make sure you give us CentOS. See, it is now connected. It is now connected. Remember, for Amazon Linux, the default user is EC2-user. For CentOS machine, the default user is CentOS. For Ubuntu machine, the default user is Ubuntu. Note it down. You may need it in case of cloud. Okay. Anyway, we'll take one cloud classes to understand that one. I think many of you know already, only except Joycelyn. I'll just take separately for Joycelyn, but cloud classes. Okay, fine. So the CentOS, I connected to the CentOS machine, but here I did a mistake. Here I provided the remote machine as EC2 user, right? So it will not be home EC2 user, it will be home, suppose CentOS, right? The home directory will be CentOS, and here also change CentOS. Now save it. Good. Now let's copy this particular command. Copy this particular command. Go here, execute. Okay. So what it will do, this call command will download this agent.jar program, right, or software from the Jenkins server, If you see here, this IP address is nothing but our Jenkins server. See, 3.8080, right? This is the Jenkins server. From this JNLP jars folder, it downloading this particular jar file. If I do ls hyphen here, see, we have this agent jar file downloaded by using the call command, right? So if I do pwd, it will be home CentOS, right? Now, after downloading this agent.jar, let's execute the Java program. Okay. So here, as we are going to execute the Java, make sure the Java is also installed. Let's go there, Java check the Java version, which Java available here. Okay, we don't have any Java installed here. Okay, so let's install the Java. I had sent you one document, I believe, right? This particular document. So there, the installations of Java also there. Let me just install this particular. I installed Java 8. Okay, so why I installed Java 8, guys? Can anybody tell why I installed Java 8?
It supports Jenkins, right?
Master means that Jenkins also installed in Java 8.
No, there is no dependency of versions or anything of Jenkins server and Node. Why I need to install a particular Java on this Node machine? The answer is, see, based on the project need, not based on the server need. Your Jenkins server is totally different entity. That is the server, and here is the node or machine where you want to execute it, right? So how you have to set up the softwares and install the operating systems based on your project need. Your application, suppose which application you want to build it, right? That should be, suppose my application, my Java, whatever program I'm going to show you, that is actually being written in Java 1.8, Java 8. That's why I just installed Java 8. Otherwise, if I install Java 11, it will not work. It will break. Okay. So I install. That is why I install Java 8. Okay. Let's. Java JRE and OpenJDK, both I installed it. So after installations, what I need, suppose, okay. So what you need, this is the server where I want to just build my applications. I install the Java, and make sure also you install the Git, because the Git URL or repo, we are going to use it, right? Sudo yum install Git. It is installed now. Now let's, what happened? That's all. Now what else we need? What could be the requirement? Okay, let's do another way. I'm going to tell you the requirement and you tell me the solution. Okay. So the requirement is, I have a Java program, and that is that can be built on the Maven build tool, and it is the source code management where I have stored the code is in GitHub repository. So what could be the, what are the tools and what could be the setups I need to do?
Maven.
Yeah. Maven tool is required to build the Java, because my document is the Java program which I have created, that will be built on by Maven tool. Okay, and I'm putting this one into source code management in the GitHub. If you are putting in the GitHub, then we have to must install the Git. Then if it is a Java 1.8 or Java 11, based on your requirement, Java 8, so you have to install Java 8. Similarly, if your application is required any other or further tools or softwares, then you must have to install those things in the particular machine or server. Did you understand, guys? Is it clear? If you understand this concept clearly, thoroughly, then in any where you can do whatever work you need. So Joycelyn, is it clear for you?
Yes, Sanjay.
Okay, guys, these are the things which is very real time, and you should understand, and everything, whatever you understand now, you can do practice and you can easily, because whatever things comes, you can do that one. Okay. Now, what we can do here? Simply, I install, let's install Maven here. And this program also, it has the Maven available here. Okay, install Maven. So what I can do, let's go to the CD OPT folder. Okay, and from here, I need to execute this particular command. So again, by using the wget sudo wget command not found, you might get also this kind of things. So if it is wget is not found, so first install wget. Sudo yum install wget. First install wget. Then wget is installed. Now what you have to do? You have to download this one. Let's go ahead and download. It's installed. We just downloaded this particular tar file. Okay, let's rename, just extract this tar file. Permission denied. XDF. Done. I just extracted this file. Okay. Now it's not required. Let's delete this G file. We have this particular folder. Okay. Let's rename this one. Give it a short form. This name is totally different, right? Apache 3.3 version 3.3 3.3.9. So I just rename it to only simple Maven. Again, it's required sudo root user. Now I have this Maven folder under OPT. Okay, so what I have to do? I need to do all these kind of setups in the node machine. Okay, now what we have to do? Let's execute this one. Anyway, after Java installations, you can execute this command. No need to of Java, Maven or Git. This command is required only for Java. Now let's execute this one. Okay, sorry. I should have to go to, it says unable to access jar file. We could not find because we were into the OPT folder, but our jar file is under CentOS, right? So we have to execute again this command. Let's execute. Okay. A JNI error has occurred. Please check your installations and try again. Okay, now here we got another issues. So what is the issues? See, I installed Java 1.8 for what? I installed Java 1.8 for the project specific, right? Now the agent, whatever the agent we are going to now run, that agent is required more than 8 version, higher than 8 version. Okay, so let me just find. This is 1.8. Now let's go ahead and install 1.11. Okay, I think in 11 version it will work. So what I'll do here, let's go and get this Java. I put Java 11. Just wait for a few minutes. Let's install the Java 11 because our Jenkins server is installed on Java 17, right? Jenkins is installed on Java 17. And the jar file, whatever we got it, that also have been built on Java 17 or Java 11, right? So let's try with Java 11. If Java 11 is not working to build this one, now what happened? I had installed 1.8. Now I'm going to install 11. So what will happen? I will have the 2 versions of Java in my machine. It's not like that will overwrite 8 and put 11. No, we'll have 2 versions of Java available in my machine. Okay. Now Java 11 is installed. If I do Java version, it still gives us Java 1.8. So for 11, we have to set it up. Okay. So there is a command. It's a big command, so I don't complete. Okay, update alternatives ---- config Java. Let's put this one. Okay, now we can see here I have Java 11 as well as Java. So this command is very useful. Let me ping you this command. You can keep it handy. Okay. So this command to find it out how many versions of Java available in your machine. So I have currently 2 versions of Java, Java 11 and Java 8. And suppose I want to make the default is 11, then you have to select the current selection. Suppose 2 is 11, right? Select. Now if I do Java -version, it will give us Java 11. See, it gives us Java 11. Earlier it was, if I do Java version, it was giving me Java 1.8, but here it is giving Java 11. Right. Now let's go ahead and execute the same Java command again. Let's see what is happening. Let's see what is happening. See, it is now working, right? So Java 1.8 was not compatible, but it threw some error. Connection timed out. Why? We had given, see, whatever things I'm giving you guys real time, and I'm showing you all errors and then trying to fix it so that you can understand clearly, right? So it is again failing. Why? Because the 5000 port, whatever we had selected, is not reachable. Means on this particular port, right? That means this 5000 port is not whitelisted. Is not whitelisted. So what we have to do? Let's go to the port. Let's go to the Jenkins server first. Go to the security. And if you see the security groups, whatever security group is added, LAMP SD, let's make sure it has 50,000. No, it does not have 50,000 whitelisted, right? It does not have 50,000 whitelisted. Let's go ahead and whitelist the 50,000 port. How will do that? Go to the security group. Edit inbound rules. It clearly gives the error logs also, right? So what says this provided port is not reachable on this host, right? Let's go to this host. We don't have 50,000, right? Let's add a rule, custom TCP, 50,000, public, done. Now save rules. Rule is saved. Now let's go here and execute the same command again. See what it says? Connected. Now agent port 50,000 and our agent is now connected to the master node, right? So if I go to the Jenkins and go to the manage Jenkins nodes, see here it is node 1 is online. Node 1 is online, right? Now, in our last class, I had created a job, right? Test job, and we had done the freestyle Jenkins job we had created, right? Let's go ahead and create a freestyle Jenkins job. So suppose I'll create a job like something called Java app, something I did. Let's go to the freestyle. Okay. Give a descriptions. Let's select git job, okay, and get the repository or URL where your source code are available, right? So my source code is available on this GitHub. Okay. So authentication code I need to provide from my mobile. So GitHub 953. Okay, so got connected. Let's go to the repository here. I need this one, right? Let's get this and clone it. Copy this one. Go here, put it here. As it is public, it's not require anything to be there, right? And is not ask for any credentials. If it is private, it will ask credentials, and you know very well how to add the credentials, right? I already have told you 2 times how you have to add the credentials. I'm not going to do that now. Let's go to the repository, and you have to see and which particular branch you want to build it, which particular branch. So let it be their master branch. Okay, let it be the master branch. And if you want to add a particular build particular branch, you have to go and check which branch you have to build. We'll have multiple, suppose 19 branch I have total, right? Which particular branch you want to build, select that one and write it here. So that particular branch will be built. For my case, suppose I'm building master branch, right? And here, let's go ahead and build steps. Okay. Okay, before build steps, let's go ahead and check. Here, I put the source code management, right? Master, and here the build triggers. Trigger the build triggers, right? What happens here? Either we have already completed this poll SCM, right? Already have told you this poll SCM. Guys, the build triggers I have already discussed, right? This poll SCM.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. 1 second. Let's go ahead.
The poll assemblies, it will poll the source code management. And if there are any new code available, then it will automatically create a build.
Exactly. So I'm not going to do the build trigger. Let's go to the build. It's not the build environment, right? In the build environment, we can just add that. Let's go to build, and here we can, let's invoke top level Maven target. Select the Maven, suppose local Maven here, roles, clean, package. I already have shown you these things, right? And next post is archive the artifact. So I can give like star plus star dot y. Okay, this artifact is going to do that. Now, this is what it will be done, right? This project. So here, I just created this. Let's save it. I just created this project, right? Project name is Java app, but I did not specify where to run. I did not specify where to run. So how we'll do that? Now, if I see here, I have the Java app. What I'll do, if I build it, what will happen? It will run in the master machine. It will run in the master machine. But I want this particular Java app to run on the node 1. So how we'll do that? Let's go Java app, go to configure. You can see here, restrict where this project can be run, restrict it, and the level expression. So here, the level will be most important. You have to provide node 1. So now this particular node 1 added. Let's save it. Done. So what happened if I do build now, right? Go to the dashboard here. You can see here node 1, right? If I just click on this Java app build, you'll see here this node 1 will pick up the job. See, node 1 is now started building the job. Okay. Now the job, if I go to the job, you can see here it is failed. Let's see why it is failed. What happens? Java home is not defined correctly. It says we cannot execute OpenJDK. So it is Java home is not defined correctly. So what we have to do? Let's go to the dashboard, go to the manage Jenkins here, go to the global tool configurations, right? And here you have to check whether the Java installations has been set up correctly or not. So this is the wrong one, right? So how we'll do that? Let's go to the machine here. And I think it's not the bin, it should be open JDK. Jerry. Does not seem to be directory. Local Java 8, right? Let's log into the machine in the different tab. Let's go to the node 1 and put it here. What happened? Achha, not SH, SSH, double S, right? So I connected to the machine now. So what I need here, if I see here, this, what is this? This particular tool, right? Java home I need to set up, right? So let's go to the CD, user, leave, JVM, here search. Okay, so what we have a Java 1.8 OpenJDK and Java 11 also, JRE 11 also, right? Let's select this any one folder and make sure it is / user leave JVM put Java 1.8 OpenJDK is not a directly on the Jenkins controller, but perhaps it exists on some agents. Okay, fine. So it just gave us one warning. Java 1.8 JDK is not a directory on the Jenkins controller, but perhaps it exists on some agents. Fine. That is, let's save it because we need that particular to be run in the save. Right. Let's go to the dashboard again. Java app. Let's build it. It's building now. See, it is perfectly working now, right? But it will fail again. It will fail again. I'll show you why it is failing again. No, it's success. It succeeded. It succeeded because we had selected Java 1.8. So it is succeeded. So how come it worked, guys? You need to find it out how it is work. Now, if I go to the Java app, I'd go to the dashboard, right? Manage Jenkins. global tool configurations. Here in the JDK versions, right? We gave user leave open JDK 1.8. So when we selected the job to run on the node 1, and in the node 1, we have already installed Java 1.8. If the Java 1.8 would not have there, then it will be fail, right? We already have installed Java 1.8 and our applications is running on Java 1.8 version, right? If I go to the logs here, go to the Java app, go to the, logs, and we can see here, first time, it has downloaded everything to the workspace. Okay, let's go top, click on the full logs. What you can see here, check the logs. Okay, it's running by admin, that's fine. And it created one workspace on where? On node machine. You can see the logs here, right? On the node machine, it is created building remotely on node 1 in the workspace. So if I go to the node machine in the back end, right? If I go to the node machine, so what is the directory? It is home CentOS, right? So let's go CD. We have in the home CentOS, we have workspace created, right? Go to the CD workspace. We have Java app workspace is done. If I go there, it will have downloaded everything from the repositories. It will have downloaded. See, all these files have been downloaded. All the project related files have been downloaded to this particular folder and from these machines. So our Jenkins server is different on different server, but our node machine is on different server. Now our node machine is working. Now how we can add? So this is what I just built the server. The continuous integrations happened, right? The continuous integrations happened. Now, how I can build or deploy to a different server? So this is what happened, the continuous integration. So we did the master slave setups. We did the agent setups. Now the agent is working. Now we triggered the job and the job ran successfully on the agent. Now what I want to deliver these things to one of the staging server, suppose to one of the staging server. So how I'll do that? To send the stage to the staging server, you can easily, what I can do, let's go ahead and suppose I want to deploy this to a different server. Okay, deploy to a different server. So what server I have to do? Let's go ahead and create one more server quickly. That one I'll make is my staging server. Okay, my Tomcat server. Suppose I'll make Tomcat test server, Tomcat test server. Just wait for a few minutes. Let's select Amazon Linux, right? This one, keep here. Launch instance. Okay, I think it will have now completed. Let's go to the view all instances. Okay, so I just added one Tomcat server. Okay, let's connect to this Tomcat server. I want to deliver the application which is built to this Tomcat server. How we'll do that? Okay, let's go to this Tomcat server, and I need to first install the Tomcat into that, right? Let's just open another tab. I
So Ranjit, like initially you created instance and node. Now this Tomcat server, I mean, it's one more additional machine or what exactly,
Yes.
Ranjit?
Okay. So it is actually additional machine or server, we can say. I just created, but in your company, it would be already been there, or if it's not there, then it might be somebody will create and give it to. So what is this actually? The first machine, whatever I created, I just made it to the node or agent, right? That is clear and you understood completely.
Yes.
Now, after I build it, so after the build is complete, so what will happen? What it will generate? It will generate a binary file, the war file or jar file, whatever it is. It will generate a binary file. So that binary file I need to deliver. Whether I can deliver to a repository like Nexus server, or what I can do, I can deliver it to a test server to do further testing. So this server I have already suppose there, not I created now. For the demo I just created for you and showed you. This could be a test server. And here you want to deliver that war file or the binary file to this particular server. How will do that, right? That is the setup I'm doing.
Okay, but this can be also done in the same node machine, or we should not do that?
No, why you should see companies actually see for your demo, for your practice, you can do that. I'm showing you everything is the real time, right? But in the real time, what happens? Your company will have, see, for demo purpose, you can install Tomcat on the same Jenkins server. You can build your application on the same Jenkins server. But that is not what happened in the companies. Companies always, they don't put everything in the one server. They keep it separately and build the job separately in a different machine and deliver that to a different test server, which test server they would have already. You can do,
Okay,
not matter, you can do anything in one server. But
okay, Ranjit.
will your company will keep in one server everything?
No,
They don't keep in everything in one server. They would have multiple servers, right? That is the real-time demo I'm showing you how it is, right?
Okay. So this Tomcat server is mainly for testing the build, like what are the binary file we have created. So this file that will transfer to this Tomcat and we'll do a testing.
Exactly. I'm going to deploy the Tomcat, then deploy the build or jar file, war file, or the binary file into the Tomcat server, test server, where we can test the application, whether the application is working perfectly or not, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I just logged into this server. Let's install Tomcat here. As it is, if this server is a Tomcat, you can use as Tomcat is a web server where it can run the Java related applications. There will be other like JBoss, Glassfish. Those are the servers which run the application, Java applications, Java web applications. Okay, Java web applications. Now, similarly, we'll have multiple like your .NET applications where it runs. IIS server, right? IIS server, you can run your .NET applications, web applications, right? Or there could be a multiple other servers where you need it. Similarly, I'm going to use the Tomcat server, which is most popular. Now, how you can install for Tomcat server? I have also given here. You have to just download the Tomcat here, install Tomcat. You have similarly, like Maven, you can install, download the Tomcat zip file, and you can use it. Okay. Suppose I'm going to, let's go to the OPT folder. We have Maven already in this folder, right? Sorry. I just went to, this is a different folder. We don't have a Maven here. Let's go to the OPT folder and here put sudo wget and all, hit enter. So it is now downloading the Tomcat jar file. We have this Tomcat jar file, Apache Tomcat. Now let's extract it, tar hyphen xvf, put it here. Now remove this file, which is not required. Right? I have extracted now. Now let's rename this. It's a big name and name to only Tomcat. You can name to any name, not a problem. Okay, I just put it as Tomcat. I renamed it as from this name to this name. Rename to Tomcat. Now what I can do here, I put in a Tomcat server, and remember Tomcat, this also required Java to be installed, right? Required Java to be installed on the Tomcat server. So let's go ahead and install the Java also. I'll just quickly install the Java OpenJDK and JRE both. Okay, let's Java 1.8 actually in this Amazon Linux, this particular package is not available, right? Let's install our normal 17 sudo yum install Java. So it will install Java 17. Let it install. Let's go here. Go to the Tomcat part. Okay. So this Tomcat is done. So there are a few other things you have to do here. We have to change the user ID and thing in the Tomcat users folder, right? So if I go to this Tomcat folder, and we have this config, right? cd conf. Let's go here. Let's go to the Tomcat users.xml. So just use Tomcat users.xml. Okay, let's go here. This is some extra work, extra things I'm showing you. It's not that it is in DevOps and you have to learn. No, it is totally related to Tomcat. It's not mandatory. It's not important like you have to learn it. Okay. So those who are working on have some extra admin things I'm showing you. Okay. It's not like you have to learn this one, but better to have some ideas on Tomcat server. Okay. So I'm just removing this, uncommenting this. This is commented and uncommented it here. And here, what we have to do, I'm just going to create, just copy paste these things. Okay. Delete these things. So I just created two roles. One is the manager script, another was manager GUI. Username is Tomcat, password is secret S3 CRET, and here there is a spelling mistake, and it should be manager script. The name, whatever you put it here, it should be same matching here. Manager GUI. Now I created these two things. Let's save it. Okay. What I'll do here? Let's go and check. Okay. Done. And remember, like Jenkins, Tomcat server also runs on the default port is 8080. So Jenkins default port is 8080. Tomcat also runs on the port 8080. Okay, so how we'll do that now? Tomcat server, I will just set up this user. Now, how we'll start the Tomcat server? You have to go to the Tomcat bin folder. There will be another folder called Tomcat bin. Go to the bin folder, and here you'll find the Catalina.sh1 script. Let's use sudo Catalina.sh stat. So you can see here the Tomcat server is stated. The Tomcat server is started. Okay. Now what I'll do here, if I go, how will access this Tomcat server? Let's copy this port use IP address. This is a Tomcat server IP address, right? Put 8080. Now this particular things is not accessible. Let's check whether the Tomcat server is running or not. So if I do, yes, I can EF. Let's see if the Tomcat is running. Okay. Tomcat is not running because here the JRE home is not set up. Okay, let's do another way to start up. Startup.sh. We have one other script here. Startup.sh. What is H? Using class path touch. Okay, sorry, we have to use sudo. Permission denied. Sudo. It says Tomcat is started, but if I do ps-f, Tomcat is not starting. It's not showing up. Okay, so it is not starting. It is because of the Java home directory is not set up correctly. So how we'll do that? It is given it here. Okay. Tomcat server, start the Tomcat server before installing. I just said you have to install Maven, and all these things needs to be set up. Java home directory. Okay. This export Java and all. So first, let's go. Let's go to the cd user leaf JVM. So we have this JRE 17 open JDK. JRE 17 open JDK, right? So let's do export Java underscore home equal to user leave JVM slash, put it here. Okay, I did it. Now let's go to the OPT. Maybe 17 will not be supporting. Okay, when we have to install these things in the CentOS otherwise. Okay. Now what I'll do here, OPT, go to Tomcat bin sudo startup.sh. Let's do some icon here. Okay, they're just not starting off. I think the delivery part we can do the next time the demo. We have to install everything in the CentOS. This Amazon Linux having some problem and not able to install this Java versions and all. Okay, so what I can do here, let it be there, and we can do all these setups maybe in tomorrow's classes. Okay, we can see the Nexus, how we can deliver things to Nexus, how we can deliver to the staging server, test server to do the further testing, and then we'll do the email setup and we'll do the pipeline setup maybe in the tomorrow classes. Okay, guys, do you have any questions, guys, to discuss, or that's fine because we already have some time?